You know what's, you know, I find a loophole for that whole oh, there's no romance between the Straw Hats, is that once Luffy achieves his dream, well, I should say everyone achieves their dream, they're gonna disband. So technically, they're not the Straw Hats anymore, and then they'll get together. So you know the couple, like maybe Frankie and Robin, and then maybe perhaps Luffy and Nami. I don't know.
And Usopp and Carrot.
Why Usopp? Don't you mean Chopper and Carrot?
Chopper's still a child, sir.
Well, we don't know how long it's gonna be after.
I know. He's like, Chopper's still a
wait,
child.
how old is Carrot though? Because Chopper is 17, 15?
Legal. I don't know. Let's look. It's like she's oh, she's 15.
She's also 15? Oh, then there you go.
I mean, she's legal in some countries, but that's beside the point.
Well, as long as there's no gap between them, then it's fine.
Yeah, but I think Chopper would like to focus more on his
Practice.
medical.
Medical.
I almost said medical degree, which I'm not wrong, but it was just the wrong choice of words.
Yeah. All right. So that's done.
But I hope at the end of all of this, Brooke kind of breaks his curse.
Yeah.
What I'm hoping.
And gets his body back. You're saying?
Yeah.
I could go either way. I mean, I feel like if he accepts it, then that's cool. If he wants his body back, then that's cool. But I could go either way.
Yeah.
As long as he's back with Laboon, that's all I want to see. Yeah. Really, anything can go from there.
It'll be so funny. Laboon forgets
how man.
Brooke looks. Like, it's like Laboon sees Brooke, but it's like you look like the guy I know.
But the afro,
probably
though,
not.
he still has the afro.
Yeah. But you know, like it's Laboon might
first glance.
Moments
yeah.
where, like
first glance, yeah, he'll probably.
Like,
Yeah, because it's a fucking skeleton. I mean, of course. But no, but even if he somehow forgets him, he'll play the song, right? And then Laboon will remember.
Laboon will be like, oh, my friend, and then just slugs him. So you jackass, you left me.
Body slam. Well, they didn't leave him. They said something. They said something about like we'll be back or some shit. So yeah, he'll be back. So now with the same crew. Now with the same crew, but with with Straw Hats.
But again, just look. You better not do the fucking Pokemon shit. I'll be back. 1,000 episodes later.
No, that's not gonna happen.
It's like,
That's not gonna happen.
I see. It's like that. I see.
What was I gonna do? I was gonna do one more thing, but I think we should all be good to go. I feel like I'm missing something, but it's like a small thing. But whatever. It's fine. It'll probably come to me if it's that important. All right. So we're back, but now we're at the 200th episode mark. Yay!
Woo!
It's been pretty long. It's been pretty long, right? We've always done these for the most part on the we actually did it on the bi-weekly bi-weekly, and so every other week. But then I think it was when it was just you and me. Then it became when it was you and me, it became weekly because it's a lot easier to schedule because it's just two of us. But we actually used to have like a lot of people back in the day, like a lot of people, starting with 4 and then it like escalated to like 5, And at some point, there were like 6 people in here. Like, Jesus Christ. I don't know how we can do a podcast like that. So I thought. But, I just remembered the thing I'm gonna do right now, so I'll be right back.
I don't know what the thing is, chat, so... Hi! Don't mind me, chat. I'm just looking at shit.
La 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 la. Alright, I'm back. Let me flip that up, and then... so yeah, sorry, I had to step out for a moment. So, as we were saying, there are a lot of people in here, and including Zawa. I think you were like gone at some point, and then, but it was like a Hydra, right? Like one head cut off, and then two got replaced or something like that. I don't know how that it usually goes for the Hydra, but whatchamacall. But then it shrunk down because people, had their own thing. Scheduling was harder. As we get older, we start to sort of get busy or get focused on something else. Or we just want to do something else. And, of course, I completely understand. Because I'm doing my thing, right? And then so they got their own thing. So I definitely, have to respect that, of course. And that's just what it is, which explains why, we've been doing like this for a while now. So just myself and Zawa right here as always. But for those who have been sticking around for this podcast, I know it's not like a big podcast by any means, but we just do it for like a hobby thing, and we just like to talk about stuff, right? So but thank you for all who stuck around, and any newcomers or anything like that, or anyone who wants to pass by and check us out at least once. Thanks for that. So we really appreciate it. We do this for fun for the most part. We managed. What?
No, it's not really a side note, because while you were gone, I was checking on, like your Pokemon cards that you would like open in other streams.
Mm-hmm.
I was checking how much that Machamp that you were eyeing. It dropped.
Oh, did it drop?
By $30. So it's 92 right now.
Oh, I see. I think you said it dropped to 30 bucks. I'm like,
no, what? If it did. I mean, it looks like it's going back to when it started. $51. So give it an extra
few weeks,
month or so,
yeah.
Yeah, just like the Urshifu one.
Oh yeah.
It was like what, 150? Now it's only
120.
40 bucks.
Yeah, 120 definitely. Now it's what?
40 bucks. So
wow.
I'm like,
wow.
I should buy it right now.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
Because that's a really good artwork.
It is. That's good for the collectors. Bad for the people who try to sell it.
Yeah.
And hold on to it.
So late in the game. Sorry, kids.
Yeah, I mean, Pokemon cards tend to be very meta heavy, so that's also why they drop so much in value. Other than being a Charizard, but yeah, even Charizard sometimes drop in value because of the effect on it. But anyway, back onto the topic. So yes, 200 episodes. It's been a very long time. I think we started in 2015-ish, around there. It started with the idea from, well, funny enough, one of the people who have been too busy with this sort of stuff, but who goes by a different name by now, but formerly known as Ender Gamma. And she came to me with the idea of basically like, hey, you want to do a podcast? And I'm like, sure. So that's literally how it happened. Like, there's no nothing special or anything like that. We're kind of just like starting to get to know each other, and then hence how it kind of unfolded and sort of snowballed. At the time, I believe Quiet was a founding member, and then we have you, Zawa, also coming in, because we knew you from the chat in the Maximilian streams. And we also played Smash together, so that's how we got to know each other a little better. So it's not just like, oh, you're from that chat, you're that guy from the chat. You say stuff like this and that. We'll pull you into the podcast. No, we like knew each other.
You're the idiot.
Yeah. You're that guy with the JoJo name, which is funny. At the time, JoJo was like remotely popular at the time. But like, yeah, it's so funny how it evolved. But anyway, we knew each other from Smash Wii or Smash 4, playing each other. And I think at the time we were on Skype. Like, holy shit, see how that fucking evolved to Discord. But basically, yeah, we knew each other, and then we started the show, and then we also had a Kaichi at the time, but then went through sort of a bit of a shift at one point. Same with Quiet. Quiet was kind of like the one of the also like the next one, I believe, to step out because he kind of wanted to focus on something else. Again, so people want to do their thing. I completely understand. So everyone's got their own thing. I said it's kind of like to that point, but of course, at the time we had together on the podcast, I had great memories. No remorse, no regrets or anything like that. I think we all had a good time. So that's the important thing. It's a common thing anyway when it comes to like these sort of group sort of projects, right? Best friends play, like, is like the best thing to see on YouTube at one point. But then, unfortunately, Matt and Pat stopped being friends because, it happens, right? I mean, it's just life happens. And then, it became too much of a business or some sort of thing. And they started to want to do their own projects, which was, I guess, for conflicting with the super best friends thing. So that's why they all kind of like split off for the most part. So, it's just common. It's just a common thing. And even like very recent podcast I used to religiously listen to, which is the Tuesday show. The guys split off, and now it's just like, James talking about stuff. Again, it happens. That's just life. Anyway, we're all here. And we're gonna continue to talk about the same shit, video games and all that stuff, because that's always been happening on a weekly basis of some sort. I kind of wanted to just take a listen of like first few minutes of our very first episode together. So this is gonna be like, yeah, I know. No, I'm kind of with you on that, because like usually I don't like to listen to myself, especially with my younger self. So it's like, oh man,
we're not that old, but okay.
Dude, it's been like 7 years. Are you fucking kidding me? 7 years.
It's fine. We're not holding up like. Like if this was my youth, I'm like
7 years, dude. That's like you're on to the next school, at least. Oh, you can hear that, right?
Here.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't even screen share it. Well, that's a good that was a good way to.
Good segue, everyone. Good
segue, I guess. Okay, let me start that. Well, that doesn't matter. You were missing out. It's just the stock music that I used to use. Yeah, see, you hear it, right? Yeah. And then I used to use the my, what do you call it, the banner, right? My own banner for the channel, just as a picture for the thumbnail, because I don't know how to fucking brand it or whatever, it, quote unquote.
Welcome to the podcast. And today we have a couple of guests and
Jesus Christ.
Ender Gamma.
What's up?
Oh my god.
And once again we have Kaichi.
You can call me Kai or Kaichi, whichever.
Jeez.
We got Kai. And also today we have ZawarudoWrrryy.
Good morning.
ZawarudoWrrryy.
No, not we. It's Ri.
Ri.
Soul escaping my body. It's going there. It's going there.
Yeah,
The knows about my name. Thank God.
Honestly, I've never watched a single episode of JoJo, but I do know a little bit about I know enough about JoJo anyway. So I know it's filled with men and women that look like men. So that's all I know.
Isn't it the other way around though?
Yeah, that's
'Cause
like
some of
the
them-
opposite.
The opposite?
is
Oh, okay.
so
Oh, well, I mean, they all
Well-
they all kind of look the same. That's all I'm trying to say here.
I'm trying to remember what was my reaction while you were like saying that.
They all
Like
look
I'm
the
really
Oh,
trying
yeah,
to like.
yes.
They all look the same anyway.
Like,
I mean, am I wrong?
so you got your womanly women, then your womanly men.
That is true. That is true. I wanted to discuss where should we start? Oh, the whole thing about the game that's supposedly the next Pokemon, and it's called I don't know if you guys know.
Yokai Watch.
It's
Yeah.
called Yokai
right.
Watch. Have you guys ever heard of that?
Oh, that Pokemon theme like game. Yeah, Yokai Watch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you guys heard? What have you the two of you? Have you guys heard of it?
I heard my friends talking
Christ.
about it.
Okay.
They got
So-
ripped off.
Well, I mean,
rip off. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm
The
kind of
only
wanted
other
to
time
listen
I heard
in.
about it was actually on your channel when I saw that video.
Right. Oh yeah,
That was
yeah.
about it.
Yeah. It's of course a game in Japan, and it's selling really well apparently. The sales for 2014 were for
I mean, it's very similar for the most part, I would say, except obviously we have a structure now. So, you know, at this point, we have a fighting game section first, as you can kind of see. I mean, even the docket itself is kind of like a evolution from this whole like process. So it kind of like keeps us like organized and stuff like that. So we have the fighting games for. I mean, it definitely evolved over time too. With even from this too, like we just had like just a bunch of just topics or links. But then the structuring, that's something I planned out over time with the fighting games first, and then the front line, and then the games, and then all the extra stuff is games, and then the anime and movies and streaming stuff and whatever, right? So that's just kind of how it formed at this point. I mean, how you feeling, man? Like, it's kind of a trip down memory lane almost. Like, is it?
My soul is already gone. It checked out.
Mm-hmm. We need to like go to the middle of the podcast or just to see.
At Apex didn't really have that good of a reaction. Crowd
Of
reaction.
course, because melee people just want
Wait.
melee. That was
Apex. Has it been 7 years already?
No. I think Apex is what he's referring to is the tournament Apex, because Smash
Oh, okay. I was like,
Apex is also a Smash tournament. Funny enough, because no, Apex came out 17 or 18, I think, right, or 19 even, and it went through several seasons at the time, like super fast. So
everyone doesn't allow customs, so I'm just so used to not having it on. And
Mine-
the only thing
Go
I
on.
have for customs will be my Mii's. So I don't work hard to try to put my customs on the regular fighters.
right, and this is just Smash 4 on the Wii U, I believe at the time.
My thing is,
Yeah.
what do you do about the people who don't have customs? Because, like, coming from someone who, like, I play it super casually, so I was trying to get the customs as quick as possible. That is another thing that's just grindy as crap. I mean, there's like, you just grind crazy orders, hoping to get lucky and hope you get them all. I mean, it's really freaking difficult.
Yeah. I wonder if there's like any like moments that
For purchase.
anything happening from the first episode. I don't think so. I don't remember. But just
All characters. I don't want to see, when I beat the game, get all the characters, I see that one slot, I'm like, it's like a OCD. It's like, bothers me. I'm missing one.
oh man, Kai, I hear you, man. I hear you. you gotta always have all the characters, man. I hear you.
That's what I'm talking about. I had
I could never do it online, but
Yeah. Yeah.
I can also hear Kai like playing in the background too. Like you can hear his like pad. It's so funny that he's always like playing games in the background. for the most part.
Very unprofessional.
I mean, gamers, right? A bunch of gamers.
I don't
Yeah.
remember what year it was, but
Them
so many games came
gamers.
out that I bought.
Let me see.
Came to Steam.
I remember that you were always like a fly on the wall when it came to the early episode, like the early podcasts.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and like like I always had like I think one of us always had to ask you like, hey, what did you think of this and blah 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 and stuff like that. But I mean, I guess
I really didn't want to like talk over people when it's
right. No, I understand. Yeah, I get it. But sometimes, like when in a podcast, like or things like these, like I think it's okay as long as the other person's like, oh, let me finish my. If they say, oh, let me finish my thought, then it's like, okay, then let me finish his thought or her thought, yeah. But I think we're trying to like silently convey that it's like okay for you to jump into the conversation. You know what I'm saying? Like, because everyone was jumping into the conversation, you know, in these podcasts. But yeah, at the same time, yeah, we try to be respectful about it, but at the same time, it happens, right? You know, that's just kind of how it goes. But and you know, we understand that like these things happen. You know, we get excited, right? You know, especially in our younger days. It's just how it goes. So I think for the most part, like it kind of goes to show of how these parts changed and how these parts didn't, which is fine. You know, it's not like you know we haven't evolved to this like professional fucking podcast or anything like that. We're not in our own little studio or anything like that. We're just basically a bunch of guys. And you know what's funny? We were kind of ahead of the game at the time with the virtual podcasting because I don't know how many people back in 15 were actually doing this sort of thing. And then you know when the pandemic hit, right? Like everyone was starting to do like the virtual like meetings and podcasting and like just you know try to talk to each other from afar sort of thing. You know, like it became like an emphasis more than ever. And yet we were like kind of somehow unintentionally, of course, ahead of the game in some shape or form. But yeah, like it was kind of cool to think about. Like we were all doing this on the on Skype. I think this is still Skype at the time. This is still 15-ish. I think by the time in 16 we started to use Discord. All thanks to Kai, of course, because he was the one who introduced it to me. And then yeah, and then it kind of basically snowballed from there. But it is kind of cool to think about if you do take the time, because it's just kind of like I don't know. It's hard to explain, but it's basically like something unintentional. We of course none of us were gonna think like, oh, we're gonna be part of this pandemic, you know, and stuff like that. We're kind of just like doing it because we all live in different states and shit, you know. People live. We have like a couple people who live in the East Coast. I live in the West Coast, and along with Quiet at the time, and then and of course Zawa lives in Hawaii. So it's like, you know, it all kind of worked out somehow with this whole virtual podcasting thing. And then of course, boom, again, lo and behold, it kind of became kind of like part of our culture at this point, our internet culture, starting from 2020, because yeah, social distancing and stuff like that. But we're already kind of doing that, so we're kind of like very much familiar and used to that, you know. But let me like kind of skim through any more parts if there's anything. But
It so melted, it was like they destroyed. But when they turned that thing on, it was working fully.
Yeah. So nothing significant. There wasn't like, I don't think any drama happening at this point. Not that we were looking for anything, but like I don't know. It's like I said, it's basically a bunch of dudes talk about video games, and that's all it's about. And I don't think that part changed really. I mean, do you have anything to say about? Yeah, I'm doing it right now. Like I'm asking you for.
I'm still cringing at my voice and the quality of the mic.
Oh right, yeah. The the quality, dude. Yeah, I mean, audio is definitely pretty important, but yeah, I mean, anything else, like we pretty much like reached to 200 episodes and stuff like that.
I mean, it would be like a nice like to see like, okay, so we saw episode 1, but this will be like off podcast. We'll see like how we sound on episode 25, then 50.
Oh
then
yeah,
100,
yeah. We don't. Yeah, I don't think we have the time to do that. Do all of that. But yeah, it's just you know, I mean, I like for the most part, again, like nothing too much has changed, right? The only thing few things that's changed is like the structuring, the quality of our audio, essentially, and that's pretty much it. And then of course, you know, the fact that I put this on like Podomatic, and then that Podomatic hosts it through to Apple and Spotify, which you can check us out, by the way, on those 2 platforms, definitely. Podomatic is where the hosting happens, so yeah. That's pretty much how it goes. So go ahead.
Didn't we use like a couple of times what's it called? Audacity? Or was that for something else?
Oh, that's right. Oh, you're right. I'm glad you brought that up, because I think this was not even the time when we were using like OBS and stuff like that too. So what we had to do is all record at the same time with Audacity, and then we clapped, right? We do the clap, and I would essentially have to line up the clap with not with each other, funny enough, but like but what I was hearing. So sometimes like the the speaker, either the speakers pick it up or the my headphone would bleed the audio into my mic, and I can hear it just so enough that I can like sync it to what I'm hearing. So that somehow works. So that's because sometimes when we just sync it with each other's claps like that, it would sound like you guys are all slightly ahead or very close to me. So that's why sometimes it sounds like we're talking over each other, I think, at times. But then, yeah, it's weird. It's weird how virtual calls go, or video chats go too. But thank you for bringing that up, because oh my god, I totally forgot about how we did our audio back in the day. And like there were times where, let's say, like somebody's Audacity didn't work, and we're just like, oh fuck, you know. And especially with sometimes my Audacity chugged up and didn't work, and we had to redo the episode again. So it's like, ugh, that's yeah, it's very that frustrates the fuck out of me, because you know, technical problems, man, they fucking frustrate the hell out of me. But yeah, man, that was our process back in the day. I don't know how we can do it now, because no fucking way I'm gonna do that shit again. No way, Jose. OBS.
We learned.
We definitely picked up a lot of things along the way, including how we record, how we distribute, and how we structure our podcast and stuff like that. And yeah, you know, it's definitely a learning experience one way or the other. You know.
Yep.
Yeah. Anything else that kind of comes to mind when it comes to doing these podcasts and stuff like that?
I wonder when we started to use webcam.
That I can look. I actually wrote a note down here.
20,000 years ago.
I actually wrote a note down for that. I'm just wondering if it's is it here? Okay, so episode 117 was the first time we were using face cams. 117. So let me actually look. Yeah, we actually went a long time with the face cams. That's actually crazy. Like it's like just a little over halfway. That's actually pretty crazy. I wonder if there's a link right here. No, we don't have the link.
Damn, what's wrong with us?
We don't have the link, unfortunately. Let me see if I can like just pull up the playlist here. Yeah, I'll just go ahead and go to my studio. And then Hypecast. Go all. Oh yeah, and the name isn't nothing special. Like I think it's because at the time the word hype was kind of like becoming like sort of a thing again because we all used to watch Maximilian and we all essentially became friends indirectly because of him in a way, and of course Marvel 3 and indirectly because that's how I found him, right? Because I found Max with Marvel 3. And then, funny enough, I stuck around because of his Call of Duty videos. Funny enough, but then when Killer Instinct was out, the 25th, the new quote unquote Killer Instinct came out at the time. That's when he started streaming, and then I started to see you guys over time, including Quiet, including so on and so forth.
Yes.
And then because of at the time Ender Gamma. He introduced me to people like Todd and Josh, and over time, we've become like pretty good friends over over Skype and then Discord and stuff like that. So funny of how this all like evolved essentially, or kind of where it went. Oh, dude, we used to go on very long too with these podcasts, like 4 hours. That's fucking crazy, man. 4 hours, that's crazy. We try to like keep it like 3 hours at max nowadays, but dude,
The hell were we thinking?
we're all youngins, man.
What were they thinking?
Yeah, this is 98. Holy shit, episode 98. We went on for. Oh, dude, we went on way longer. Look at this, man. 92, episode 92, 4 hours and 43 minutes. Well, that's because we have more people at the time too, so we have to give it tap.
Yeah.
But still, that's still fucking long, son.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Where's 117? Oh yeah, I almost got sidetracked a little bit.
I like how you asked me, or like the question right now. You just asked something like it was towards me, but I know it was like a general question.
Yeah.
For you. He's like, "Where's 117?" I don't know. It comes after 116.
There you go. Yeah, 117 is, I believe, when we were starting using the face cams. Like it's nothing different from here on. I don't think it evolved too much.
Well, the background did.
Yeah, the background.
It's not-
Look. Yeah, look at that. Damn, your hair.
Skip.
I'll let the skip slide.
That is pandemic hair. Skip.
Yeah. I will let that skip slide because yeah. I try to avoid the skip, but anyway. But no, yeah.
And then also look at your lighting in your room.
Yeah. You're right. The light. I didn't have the LED lights at the time. Yeah, you're right.
And if you look at mine right now, it's kind of did it.
It's fine.
Ish. I mean, you're probably gonna change in 3 years when boyfriend moves in, and then I might move to this in that room. But now that I look at it, I might have to keep my main computer here, and then when he brings his computer over, which is gonna be a big overhaul. So that's like one big ass project. And so my friend who built my rig, he gave me 2 options. Either we go full on like ground up because some of those components in my boyfriend's rig is old as fuck.
Right.
Or we just go, buy a pre-made and then we'll just build over time. So I'm like
Right, gotcha.
Because at most a good pre-made is like 2,500. That's like bare minimum. But if we go like from the ground up,
Yeah.
that might be like a 3K bill. But at least when you go ground up, when you're building a rig, you can future-proof it.
Pretty much. So I just wanted to point out like the subtle differences, right? Like the logos, like in the logo and the actual like video feed is like a little higher up because of course our face cams are like lower but bigger, so you can kind of see us better. But like the what do you call it? The link to the Loot Crate stuff, I used to be partnered with them at one point, or sponsored even, because they like sent me some stuff back in the day. But you know things change with Loot Crate, so that stopped happening. So, but I mean, whatever, that's fine. I'm not a big deal for me, but it's obviously it's a big deal for the Loot Crate company as a business. I think they're still around, but I don't think they are doing any sponsorships or anything like that much. But anyway, it definitely has its differences. We still have we still have the what's her face from FGO dancing in the background. You know, the small version of her name. Well, it's something. It's from like Mongolian history or something like that. Or no, it's yeah. God damn it. Something the Han.
Is that like Faka had used her a lot. That's
yes, yeah. That was like his unit. You know what I mean? Like really was into this unit. Oh, what's her name, man? It's like bothering me now. It's like something. Well, she's based off of what's his face? Something the Hun or something like that. Let me look that up real quick here. I know there's like a very unimportant thing, but it's like it's gonna be bothering me. Like oh, Attila the Hun. That's what it is. That's what she's based off of. But her name is not Altria, because that's Artoria's name in FGO. I'm just gonna put like Attila the Hun FGO or something like that. Attila the Hun and then FGO. I'm pretty sure they'll Altera. That's what it was. Altera the Hun. Well, technically, but Altera. Yes, we still have the dancing small Altera or Chibi Altera, and just dancing there forever. I mean, just because we still play, we still quote unquote play FGO. I mean, I still play it from here and there. Yeah, because most people in the podcast used to play a lot of FGO, and most of us wailed on it, unfortunately.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Don't look at my receipts.
It's funny that the only kind of lighting that we got is from the screens that we were looking at. You see how your face was like lit up because we were looking at this IGN article because the background is like white, so you can kind of like see our faces better.
I'm trying.
You're trying to what?
Like remember, like during like on our early years, like our scheduling. Like I think it was like not obviously like around this time before. It was like later in the day where it's where it was slowly like getting dark. Like you could see the progression on my screen, like light.
Oh yeah. Because oh yeah, you're right. Yeah, because when we do this early, it's like light or it's daytime for you still, and then by the time we get to the end, it's like super fucking.
You see.
Super, and I'm like kicking back on my chair like this. That's so funny. Oh man, funny how just things play out like that.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I kind of want to say we started technically at 4 my time. So
yeah. So it was like 7 for me ish, 7 to 6.
So that does give a like rough like time lapse of this
pretty much
becoming dark.
We used to do this also like at the dead of night, right? I think that was also because like I had my family used to go out a lot more. That's why, you know, the noise issue wasn't much of a thing. But you know, nowadays because of like pandemic and stuff like that, you know, not so much. So that's why it's better for me to do it during the day-ish. And plus, I have like a sound barrier right here, and then, you know, I had to get a little more equipment to add more to the door so that the sound doesn't leak as much, you know, to the door. So, thankfully, it's not much of an issue, but I still prefer to do it during the day-ish, so that way I can edit it during the night and then upload it by the late night, and then get it all done early on, so that way I can get it out of the way. But yeah, that's just kind of how it goes. But other than that, not much change from there. I mean, your hair, my hair. That's about it. The layout is quite different as well, you know.
Also, that your bed and your display is there's more stuff now from there, but
A little bit.
I don't think your Gengar is in the spotlight anymore.
Oh yeah, because he's over there. Gengar used to be right here. Yeah. Yeah.
He got moved out of the spotlight. Who's in the spotlight?
Because I was trying to, because I film my like vloggy stuff over here, like on this part of the bed. So I'm trying to, I was trying to get the Gengar in the shot, but it doesn't happen. It doesn't work. So I don't know. I might move him back to over here or something. We'll see. I'll put him back in the spotlight so that way you can kind of see past my head. Anyway, it's that's also like kind of a nice funny thing to notice. Like there's also changes here too on this layout. Our face cams are a lot smaller, right? Because this was like very like last minute. I felt. I told you, like, I was like, hey, you wanna see if we can do like face cams, see if that works, and then you're just like, yeah, fuck it, right? So.
It's like, no,
yeah, you're kind of yeah, of course you're kind of like hesitant at first, but then you're just like, yeah, fuck it, or something like that. I don't know. And then yeah, we're kind of like used to it now. I mean, I feel like it's part of the virtual podcasting sort of evolution-ish, because that's what everyone is doing. And I feel like if we don't do it, then it's not as engaging as a YouTube video. Of course, it doesn't matter as an audio podcast because you're just listening. But like when it comes to the video format of things, that's a miss already. I feel, in my opinion, because you kind of want that like human element in there with the faces. And also to see like the facial expressions whenever you want to talk about something. So, at this point, do you have anything else to talk about? Anything you remember from the podcast at all in the past, or nothing?
I cried.
What's up?
I cried.
Yeah,
So I mean, we made it.
Yeah, we made it. Yeah, we definitely made it. We'll try to keep going, see if we can do another 100. That means we got to go through another 2 years to get to 100. Because because if we do it every single week, that's what 52 weeks, right? So yeah, that's all there is to it. And I just want to say, thanks for all, and of course, thank you, Zawa, for sticking around. With a thumbs up, yeah.
Just don't ever replay those old clips.
We're gonna play the old clips, man. You know we're gonna do it. We're gonna be like, yep, this is where we're at. This is where we're at. This is where we're at. I feel like I definitely should dedicate more time so that we can like go through like more episodes. So that way it'll be more interesting on that topic. But I think maybe on the 50th episode, or the 50th from this on, so 250, well, maybe we'll dedicate time to that. But that also depends on like the what do you call, like if there's like any news or not at the time. Maybe we should do it during do it during the summer, so that way we know like for sure there are going to be dry weeks or something like that. But we'll have to see. Things can change.
Please don't. I implore you.
Yeah, so we're gonna keep going, man. We're gonna keep going till there is definitely nothing we can do about it or whatever. There's something that we cannot stop. Like, I guess, like, if the internet goes out or something. I don't know. If the internet forever goes out.
I want to get off this ride.
Shit. Well, anyway. Thanks, everyone. Keep going as much as we can. Anyway, let's get on to the news. Oh, yeah. So, now that we're going to get on to the news-ish, we're going to go through this stuff as quick as we can-ish. And then, well, I want us to talk about Digimon, because we're both still in our true... No, not true. We're in our post New Game Plus playthrough. There you go. Let's just put it that way. There you go. Okay, so we went through that. So now, when it comes to fighting games, multiverses, there was the launch of Season 1. But not only that, we had some news about Black Adam and this character from the Gremlins. I forget his name, but yeah, we have a character from the Gremlins coming in, and along with Black Adam. Black Adam, surprisingly, is not, well, because The Rock hasn't been even out yet, but so this is like a different Black Adam. I think it's more of a typical like comic book Black Adam. Does he have like pointy ears in the comics?
Yes.
Okay. I figured that was like a comic book thing.
I almost called him an elf.
Yeah.
I was like, no way, he's not.
Yeah, he's just, it gives him more of like a wizard-ish look, right? So
yeah,
a little more adds a little more mystique, I guess. But we definitely have someone with pointy ass ears, which is this gremlin creature. It's Stripe. Stripe is this. I think he's the villain, right? He's like the reoccurring villain from Gremlins. Yeah. So we're having him coming in. We still have to wait for Morty and then Rick after, and then sometime these two, I guess, will be coming in. So that's cool. I wonder if they'll like base Black Adam from the the Injustice games, because you know NRS. I wonder if they'll like pull moves from there, or they'll just come up with something different. But we'll have to see. It's interesting that we see Black Adam first and not Shazam first, but maybe because of like Superman, so they want to like balance it out with a villain or something. So there's just, or not a villain, but like an anti-hero ish. So there's just whole Black Adam first into it. And also, I guess the movie, right? They want to promote the movie at that. But yeah, pretty cool. I mean, what do you think of these two making it into multiverses?
Well, for Stripe, what's your hitbox?
Yeah.
Black Adam, how many projectiles are you gonna have?
Yeah, that too. How good is your float? How good is your flight? You know.
What's your damage output?
Mm-hmm. What's your how much lightning is he gonna put out? You know, because in Injustice he's like a nightmare, especially when he has orbs out. I remember he was like one of the best characters.
Imagine that's his passive. Like after a certain amount of percentage damage, he sustains, the orbs just show up.
Mm-hmm. The orbs, yeah.
And everyone's like, oh god.
What if he's just
it's back?
It'd be so funny if he's just like straight up from Injustice 2, like his moveset and everything. So he has like the ground bounce and then he has the wall bounce move. It'd be so funny. It'd be hilarious actually. But I gotta say though, with season 1 out now, I just kind of think it's weird that they launched the season without a new character at first. I would think they would put at least Morty out first, because that's what the next character is going to be. But I wonder why they didn't launch with a character. That's really weird. But they did launch with the battle pass now, so it's like a longer battle pass, and also like the what is it? You have like the patches, right? They nerfed bugs. They adjusted Iron Giant a little bit. Velma got nerfed, of course, because we know how many Velmas made it to top 8. That was like almost all of them, pretty much. Almost all of them. I forget who else got nerfed from looking at the pictures. Oh yeah, I think Finn supposedly got nerfed, but he's still good. He's still annoying to fight for sure. And I think Superman got buffed, like buffed and nerfed or something like that. I'm not. I forget. I don't have the patch notes on me, but we're not gonna go through that whole thing. There are some fixes, of course, and there's gonna be more fixes coming for the online stuff. There are some problems still because I was actually playing with Todd yesterday as we record this, and basically he was also experiencing like a one-sided sort of lag on his side. And yeah, I mean, it happened also with Afro. I was like, oh, it's fine for me, but it wasn't fine for Afro at the time, and of course recently with Todd. He says he's having fun with it. The unique complaint that I heard from him is that he wants more frames, so he wants more frames to react to. Because there's a lot going on for sure. But I didn't think that would be something people would complain about, but I guess with like with PCs and stuff like that, I guess it is something. Because PCs can handle more frames, I guess, so it's more of a common complaint, I guess. But yeah, I didn't think that would be a thing with multiverses of all things, or like these sort of games. Like, I understand with like what is it, FPSs, like first person shooters, because that's very reaction based. But I guess you could see the same thing for something like multiverses. Like, could you imagine playing Smash at 120 frames per second? That's crazy.
My eyes wouldn't even know where to look at.
Yeah, that many frames. But I mean, people say it's a game changer. So I mean, I guess I'll take their word for it.
Yeah. It's like, I guess.
I have to see it firsthand in order to even come up with a verdict. So, anywho, Black Adam and Stripe are coming. So that's pretty cool. I want to see the rest of the characters coming in for season 1. Hopefully we can get to see a certain big guy along the way. But anyway, well, I guess we'll discuss that in a later time, if that's even true. So that is season 1 being kicked off, and I think it's it's more or less the same. It's the same fun game. So with the online stuff kind of like fixed along the way, there's more fixes coming. They're constantly looking at the game, and they're constantly trying to like adjust some people or some characters, including Taz. So they're continuously looking at it. All right, so anywho, that is multiverses. Last week I forgot to talk about this. I really wanted to include this in for Street Fighter 6, but I guess it worked out because there's nothing to talk about for Street Fighter 6 other than some other videos I wanted to also bring up, but we'll talk about this first. And it's the real-time commentary that's been a feature for Street Fighter 6 that's being shown off.
I got you. Let's go.
Got Tasty Steve.
Just getting started here. Who'll take control? And just bets it all on the dry rush. Solid anti-air. No resources to work with. They gotta do this the old-fashioned way. Wow, that took off a chunk. Wow, punish counter to save the galaxy. Woo! I've seen a lot of fights in my day, but nothing even comes close to this one. Let's go. I'm sure you're expecting a Chen reaction.
And we got James Chen.
Man, they just know the spacing way too well. You gotta be careful with this pressure. You know a prey is most dangerous when they're cornered. They're ready for the anti-air. That jump is too obvious. Oh, okay. That one hurt. Oh, here we go. Is it gonna kill? Is this gonna kill? I cannot believe they pulled that off. That was crazy.
That was a solid win. Give me your takeaways on what we just saw.
There is nothing more amazing than playing a close match with someone down to the wire like that.
Yo, I can't argue with you. What a game.
So that last 50 seconds at the end of the video will provide you a hint of how this commentary can also work. So it's not just one voice, it could be multiple voices happening or multiple commentators happening. And again, this one is featuring Tasty Steve and James Chen, which I believe these two definitely deserve the spot for the real-time commentary feature. And I previously said, like, I actually really wanted to hear James Chen because he's, you know, I think he deserves it. He's a legend amongst, well, the fighting game community, really, and especially with Street Fighter. You know, he's well known and well versed in the Street Fighter, so I just felt like it would have been so poetic for him to be featured like that. You know, ever since they first featured this whole commentary thing, starting with Vicious and Aru, and so you know, having James Chen in here is, you know, it kind of completes that sort of like. Or it definitely checks it off the checklist, you know. I think he really deserves it. You know, he put a lot of hours and work into this whole thing, and dedicated his love for it to the point where he's purposefully not working at a desk job just so he can spend time with the fighting game community and stuff like that. You know, and he's like he's having a hard time getting by, but you know, he's hanging in there no less, and you know, and I want to say, you know, congrats to James Chen, but also of course Tasty Steve. Tasty Steve is also, you know, somebody who has also put the work and stuff like that, and in his own way, being pretty much like the best MC. Like he's so like entertaining, he's so energetic, he's so just hyped for many things. He's always like just excited for a lot of things, and that kind of translates well into his commentary, I feel, especially when he's with Say-Jam. You know, you got the Tasty Jam pair, and it's such a cool like thing for, you know, at least, especially with these two getting the spot now. So and this is kind of cool that, you know, these two together got the announcement, right? Got the reveal. And yeah, it's just I think it's just really cool together. Anything you wanted to say?
I wonder how many more commentators are we gonna get.
Good
Like,
question.
I hope this is. I hope it's like
a healthy amount. Yeah, I'm sure they'll update
I mean,
it.
my wish list would be Yipes.
Yeah. I want
to just hear him go.
Yeah, and yeah, the scream. He's got to have the scream, man. I can't do it. I can't do it right now, but like,
like his little happy screams, like yes.
Yeah. Yes. No, hearing Yipes would be great. I think he's like the next big, great one. I want to also hear Ultra David, because you know he's a pair with James Chen, so that would be really cool too to see. Also Say-Jam, I think he also deserves it too, in my opinion. Really, can't really think of like anyone else, because usually anyone else I think of, they're like associated with like different games. Oh, I mean, F-Word, yeah, but F-Word and Logan are definitely another pair I can think of like that deserves Street Fighter, you know, the Street Fighter spotlight. But otherwise, everyone else is kind of like associated with different games, so I can't really say if they deserve a spot in Street Fighter or not. I guess it's just a matter of those games featuring them in commentary. But for sure, though, another pair, yeah, Logan and F-Word is another like all my days, you know. That'd be pretty cool.
Imagine like they had, I don't know what he would be saying if he was a commentator for this game. Oda.
Oh. Huh.
Or have Blanca Chan just
You mean Ono? You mean Ono?
Ono and then Oda. We'll have because it would be so funny they had Oda shows up and
Oh, you mean
Hey.
from KOF?
yeah.
Huh.
Just
be
like
really
like a little collaboration, like
That'd be really interesting. I actually never thought of that, but it would be interesting.
yeah, because you'll have like Oda for KOF and then maybe Daisuke.
Oh, Ishiwatari, yeah. If you want to include the devs in there, that'd be kind of funny.
Yeah.
What about what's her face? From Fighters. I think her name is Tomoko or something like that. Yeah.
Well,
Anyway.
I could,
And then she just says
That'd be
rollback. She just says rollback, and then we go, oh! She says like something rollback.
oh yeah, you have her as the commentator.
Right.
And every time the rollback happens, she
Oh.
screams rollback.
Yeah.
So you know it's working.
Yep. That'd be actually really be funny. So that would be hilarious. Yeah, I'm trying to think of anyone else. Otherwise, there's a lot of new fresh faces that I can't really like come up with. Like Ringe, is one example. Like Marine. Who's another one? Like, I know their faces, but I can't remember their names for the life of me. So, but either way, I mean, I think there are a couple more that definitely at least deserve a spot in here, and it'd be pretty fucking awesome. But I think they'll also try to include people from like different communities or different like regions. But we'll see about that. Let's see how far they would like take this little features. So like it'd be kind of cool. It'd be kind of cool to have like the Spanish commentators, you know, and then you know some people from France, some people from you know, like maybe parts of like Africa, Brazil, of course, Brazil, Africa, you know, that sort of thing, you know. Of course, the Koreans and the Chinese, you know, because I'm pretty sure they're pretty well like versed into Street Fighter as well, right?
I wouldn't mind like as commentators, Ryu and Chun-Li's VAs as commentators. I mean, it's gonna like kind of be like silently. It will be like weird at first, but like hearing Ryu commentate his own matches.
That would be funny. That would be actually pretty funny. I mean, maybe at least have the characters do like the menu stuff, like versus mode. You know, pick a character. You know, select your fighter or something like that. Yeah.
Well, when they say the name, like
yeah, they like, say their own name. Like
they
Chun-Li.
say like Ryu.
Yeah.
Versus.
Yeah.
Chun-Li.
Yeah.
Something like.
Something like
I could see that. If they really wanted to make this game like very interactive.
Yeah, like interactive or customizable, you know, with not just like with your main character appearance and the story mode pretty much, but like the audio experience, the music, right? I mean, we're gonna have a lot. I'm pretty sure we'll have a lot of tracks, you know, in there that are gonna be memorable. So hopefully they'll include more memorable tracks from like the classic days or just like, you know, remixes of things, you know. It'd be pretty sick. But yeah, I mean, back to this commentary feature thing. I'm really glad to see James Chan and of course Stacy Steve being featured in here. I think they definitely, again, I think they really deserve it, especially with James Chan, just because he's a you know, a old veteran, you know, amongst the FGC members, you know. So it's really cool to see him being featured in a video game that he really likes. So again, it's a very poetic thing, and yeah, I think it's really awesome at that. The only question is though, how well will this work, right? how annoying is it going to be? How how many people are going to have this turned off? You know, I think those definitely are the big questions. I'll try to have it on just to see how it works and stuff like that, especially with like the whole 2 people thing. See how that works. I think Aru would be pretty fun though, because it's like Japanese and the way he conveys stuff, like it's pretty cool, right? He's like a very prolific commentator and also voiceover stuff too. So I don't know if he does. I don't know if he does like anime stuff or anything like that, but I'm pretty sure he does like commercials here and there and like this big esports features and all this stuff like that. I'm pretty sure he does commercials for those. So I believe he's pretty popular and iconic amongst the Japanese FGC. So yeah. Anyway,
I just like made like wish lists of commentators. I just remember, what if they asked Jamie Lee Curtis to do a commentator? Because remember, she does play Street Fighter.
I mean,
she does play as Cammy, so that would be funny if she was commentating.
Right. I thought she played Vega. Oh, but anyway.
She cosplayed as
Vega.
That's Vega.
Right.
That one Evo.
Right. So man, that's trippy, man. That's actually really trippy. Someone like her playing Street Fighter. That's actually really. I'm also trying to remember like if there's anyone I'm like missing that deserves a spot.
Well, since we're on the commentary thing, Harada, here's my wish to you: when you finally make Tekken 8, have Vin Diesel and Michelle Rodriguez be commentators. So when they see Tekken, it's gonna hurt everybody.
Was it Tekken? Because I thought they were talking about Street Fighter.
No. They were saying, remember how they pronounced Tekken? It was like Tekken.
Was it? Oh,
we're here playing Tekken.
I actually don't remember that part.
It was one of the video game awards.
Right. No, it was at that Game Awards. I remember that, but I thought they were talking about Street Fighter. Okay. All right. I mean, I don't want to go too deep in this topic, but yeah. I just wanted to talk about the commentary stuff with James and Stacey Steve, because I failed to talk about that last week or whatever, last episode, which I should have had, but I somehow forgot. But anyway, pretty cool stuff though on James Chen and Stacey Steve. Good shit. Yep.
Well deserved.
Yeah, yep, for sure. Okay, so I guess I think what we're gonna do actually is, let me see how long we're at. Okay, I think we can dedicate an hour for Digimon Survive, because we don't have anything really to talk about for the frontline stuff. So I think we can replace it with that if you want to do that. Because the rest of this stuff is gonna be kind of quick anyway, so I don't know. And it's kind of like minor. Because I really do want to talk. I want us to talk about Digimon.
If we're gonna go into Digimon Survive spoiler territory,
yes, big spoiler warning. So yeah,
people die in this game, kids.
Yes, they do. I mean,
and I deliberately let those 2 assholes kill themselves.
I guess this will.
I didn't care.
Right. This will like lead into my biggest con with the game, which is like this is from the visual novel aspect of things. I mean, first off, you have to go into this game playing a visual novel. Like you can't play this going into a tactical RPG, unfortunately, because it sucks. Because that's how it was marketed at first, and in the very first trailer of Digimon Survive. I think that was like the biggest detriment, in my opinion, to sell the game. They did show it off later on, but they didn't say like, oh, these are like these. I don't think they clearly said, oh, these are visual novel like stuff in here. They just said, oh, your choice is going to matter, right? So people have to sort of like think about it, right? But then again, it's like they don't know how much of that is in the game, right? I mean, they thought it was just gonna be off to the side, and it's mainly about the action, the tactical RPG. But it's way more visual novel than people would kind of hope for or expect. But for those who like visual novel games and who wanted a Digimon visual novel game, I think this is going to be a field day with you guys, you know. I think it was fine, right? But it's not without its flaws. I mean, what about you?
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, again, for me, like since I was already like I had backgrounds of playing, you know, visual novels and stuff, so the visual novel part didn't really like hinder me from playing it, but there were some parts, some chapters that the VN area of the game was just like
A slog fest.
hurry up, hurry up, I don't care.
There's a lot of
Okay.
there's a lot of back and forth of just like filler stuff, unfortunately. Like, it doesn't like get to the point as quick as it should. But with that said, yes, you get to kind of know about the characters. But the point I'm trying to get to is that I think the biggest detriment in this particular case, is that the visual novel system, I think, really feels like it's very trivialized, if that makes sense, because it really winds down to picking red, green, or yellow, and you're pretty much going to be only doing that because you want either these forms of, let's say, Agumon, for example, and that's heavily influenced by, you know, the colors or the karma that you pick. So there's the moral path, there is the harmony path, and then there's the wrathful path. And obviously, the wrathful path is sort of like the evil path, just judging by the name, right? You kind of get it. And then the harmony path is more neutral, and then moral is, lastly, of course, that's the heroic path. That's the good path. And even the tips loading screen kind of tells you that. So either way, there's no avoiding it. There's no avoiding not knowing that. So if you're trying to be like completely like fresh or something like that, or trying to try to play this like blind, you're gonna figure it out right away, like pretty quickly, and catch on like, you know, if I just pick this, you know, like, especially if you like go back and, you know, reload the save right before you pick that choice, it's gonna be the same fucking outcome, like no matter what you do. So that's like really, unfortunately, that happens, and that really it becomes a less of a you know, a premier visual novel experience with that. Like, it just feels like your choices don't matter as much, and you don't care about your choices as much. Now, yes, you kind like, it kind of matter ish with like when it comes to the affinity with your character, with the rest of your crew. But here's the thing: whatever path you pick, that's what determines who dies. Not so much like the affinity with your people. That's what I've come to find out. So we pick both moral paths, and so what is it? What's his name? Oh, Dio. Dio is the first one to die, right? And then later on it was Shuji. Those are the two. Yeah, no, Shuji is a piece of shit. I'm sorry. I mean, I feel bad because he died, and I wanted everyone to live, but yes, he is a piece of shit. So he kind of got what he deserved, but at the same time, I wanted him to live for the sake of, you know, getting a perfect run, quote unquote.
Yeah.
But there's no way to do that because that's just how the game works. Like, if you pick the path, they're gonna die no matter what. And then so by the time you beat the game, it kind of like, there's a screen thing that says, oh, if you talk to Ryo more, it can probably prevent his death and stuff like that. Which you might think, oh, maybe if I talk to him from the beginning, or that's what I thought. If I've talked to him from the beginning as much, or at least I got all those affinity points, then he would have lived maybe. But no, that's not the case, because it doesn't make sense, because Ryo's affinity was just as much with Minoru and Aoi and whoever else was with me at the time.
I mean, what was his affinity counter when when it came to Rio's death?
It was like well over 20 for me.
Okay, so you weren't quite there.
No,
On
but
technicality, because I looked up like what
it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because everyone. It doesn't matter because he's supposed to die no matter how many points you have. That's the whole point. That's the whole.
Yeah, on the first run.
Yeah, on the first run,
he's supposed to die. But on the second run,
Oh yeah. On the
I
second
looked
run,
it
yeah,
up.
yeah. But here's the thing.
they said
Oh no, but you're gonna say he, if you get enough points, he lives, right?
yeah, you have to get at least 30
Right,
before the chapter
right.
of his death.
But that's on purpose because there's not enough
Yeah.
scenes with everyone, and especially with Rio, to get enough points. That's why, like they did it on purpose, so that because they want to show you people dying or something. I don't know. But anyway,
Yeah.
but in the second playthrough, there's gonna be more scenes, which means you have more opportunities to raise your affinity with people. That's why. That's how you get past that. And once Rio
It's
lives,
more scenes and the affinity points are doubled.
yeah, you get more points for it. So it's kind of how it's structured essentially. And then once you save Rio, once you save him, it automatically puts you into the true ending path. So you have to go for the moral path first off, because of course that's and then you have to save Rio, which I feel like it's pretty easy to do as long as you get all the dialogue right, and you have a lot of it. So yeah, and so once that happens, you are gonna prevent Yuji's death or whatever, because
No, he can fucking die.
no, no. Once you save Rio, he's gonna live. That's how it works.
I know, but
Right.
to me, it's like no, you can still die, please. I don't care.
Whatever. But
Or
anyway,
you can have his Lopmon on the field and just have him die like each. Just have him just die. It's like I don't care, die.
well, if he dies,
useless.
well, if Rio dies, or no, excuse me, if Shuji dies, Lobon dies. So I don't think he deserves that. Anyway, so once all that happens, then you're on that path. You're automatically in that path. So it's just kind of like, I don't know. It just, to me, it's not the premier visual novel experience. It's just too linear for me anyway. Now, with that said, is the story for it good? I think it is good. I think it's very enjoyable. I like the stories between all the characters and stuff like that. Now, are the tropes there? Obviously, yes. I mean, it's very night and day, or it's like plain as day, right? Like plain as daylight. So you kind of like obviously get to see like who's who, right? And what kind of tropes they have. But yeah, once you get to talk to them and stuff like that, then it starts to get interesting because you kind of get to know them better. But for the most part, their outer layer or something like that is very much like, yeah, you kind of get to see that commonly with with those character tropes in anime and stuff like that. With that said, I think the story is still interesting. There are lots of filler for sure, but I think it's still enjoyable as a visual novel story, I guess you can say. But the structuring, the gameplay side of it when it comes to this visual novel, it's very trivialized, and I think it takes away the tension away from it, because you're just gonna be like, oh, I'm just gonna pick this color. Like, I don't care what happens. Like, right? Like, it just, and not only that, it's the same fucking outcome for those during those scenes anyway. So it's like, what does it matter? And it's not like if you pick, like, let's say like you pick the moral choice for this scene, it doesn't affect anyone's affinity at all. So it doesn't add to that tension. It's like, oh fuck, like should I pick but the wrathful one sounds like that's me, right? That's like, me in this situation. But if I pick this path, or if I pick that color, then it's gonna lower the affinity for these certain people, right? That could have been interesting potentially, but I just felt like this was added in sort of later on, or it wasn't like, this wasn't in mind. I felt like it kind of felt like it was something added halfway through, maybe. like, oh, let's make this into a visual novel game. Like all of a sudden, like, wait, what? You know, instead of like, you know, an actual like tactical RPG. And so I really felt like it. Neither of the gameplay stuff is fully fleshed out, in my opinion. What do you think of like the gameplay stuff for either side of it, like the tactical RPG and the visual side of it, visual novel side?
I mean, again, with the visual novel side, it was just typical, like, visual novel structure.
Mm-hmm.
It's just that, to me, I don't know why people from the Reddit I read, they wanted a romance route, and I was like, why?
Right.
Not every VN needs romance.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and you only have two. What is it? You're a male character, and you're gonna. I mean, I guess there's two less of a female cast. So, you know what I mean? Like, if you're gonna have romance, ideally you should have, you know, equal amount of females and equal amount of males. You know.
I mean, but there was that choice when you were in the amusement park where Minoru was asking, like, oh, if you went to amusement park for a day, who would you bring?
I know what you're.
And I was like, holy shit, are they hinting? I was like, oh, that's cute.
Mm-hmm. Maybe.
And to me, it was like, that was a cute moment. Does that, you know, be brought up again? Nope.
No.
It's just like,
it's just, yeah.
It's like
one-time thing.
It's like, I see.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I think he's just a bro kind of guy. Like he just wants a bro, like a what do you call it? Bro? He's like kind of like a bros before hoes kind of guy, which just kind of makes sense because, you know, he's like what, 14 or 15 or something like that. So, I know he's just a year younger than Aoi for sure, because Aoi is kind of like the senpai of the group besides Shuji.
Yeah.
That's all I know. But it's just sorry, did you want to go on with more? Mm-hmm.
It's just, again, like, looking at the gameplay though, when it comes to the tactical RPG side,
yeah,
first playthrough, you know, you really are planning out, like, okay, I'm gonna move this one here. Shit, there's 3 enemies here. If I put my creature right here, facing forward this way, he can be attacked here, here, and here. Like, you're really going like that. But once you get to New Game Plus, auto battle, I'm done. Watch the fireworks go.
Yeah. How far are you now in your New Game Plus playthrough?
Chapter 8.
Oh yeah, that's right. I haven't touched it since I got to the school. So, because I have been playing like multiverses and stuff. Yeah.
I think I'm at. I think I'm close to the end again of chapter 8.
I
think. I think.
Yeah.
And then also with the other thing I like about I guess the tactical RPG side is you get to use Talk No Jutsu.
Yes.
Against Europe.
Yeah.
Which was hilarious.
Yeah. There's just a lot of dialogue throughout the game, including the negotiation part. Like, it's very kind of like Persona-esque, and if you pick the right questions, of course, you get the points, and you can either try to recruit them or you can try to also just get items from them, you know. And it's just more talking. Like, it's just more talking in a game that has already has a lot of talking. So there's gonna be a lot of reading, of course, because this is only a Japanese dub or Japanese audio. So for those who kind of want to see an English dub, that's not gonna happen, of course. But it's just like, you know, that's kind of how it goes. It's a pretty low budget game overall, I feel, or lower budget. You know, it's nothing too extravagant. You can even kind of see it with the tactical RPG side of things. Like, they're all like 2D sprites. I mean, live 2D sprites, and and
there was also a lot of what's it called? Misspelling.
Oh, dude, yeah. Oh, dude, that there was a whole like there's this whole moment with me when I was like when I was streaming it too, and it was the scene with the tunnel, right? Because it was on Aoi's part, and then we were talking about Labramon, and then at one point like Labramon was referred as a he. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, huh? Is Labramon a fucking good boy this whole time? Like, what? And then it went back to she, her. I'm like, what the fuck? And that's a big misspelling or typo if I ever saw one. And then there was one point where the dialogue went off the thing. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, I even got that like clip or a screenshot or whatever. So maybe I'll send it to you at some point. But yeah, there's quite a number of typos in that game for a game that has
like typos, and then the camera goes dumb. Because there was like one part in my first playthrough. You know when you're first doing like your whole like, okay, I'm gonna
the phone,
like,
the phone, yeah.
The phone. There was like one item like at the edge of the corner. So you know, like if you try to freely like move it, it's like can't touch it.
That's why I just use the shoulder buttons, because that it's
yeah. I was like, you know what, fucking shoulder button. There you go.
Yeah.
I did it.
Yeah, it's like it's so much quicker. Like it's so much easier to find shit. Like, oh, you pull out the phone, you just spam the shoulder button, and it's how you do it.
But I want to know like what are like in game. All
Mm-hmm.
right, let's just pretend like everyone's like alive and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Like, here's your character just whipping out his phone and going like,
yeah.
Then you just see like everyone else going like,
what is he doing? Takuma, what are you doing? Can you imagine?
Is he spazzing? like,
just
like, look, guys.
Yeah. Where's my phone? That's the game.
Or it's kind of like, you know, like they're like in the middle of the conversation talking to you, then all of a sudden it's like, hold on, I said something.
Yeah.
It's like, bruh.
Yeah, speaking of the characters, I mean, I did like most of them, and I get it. Like, there's some characters that are written to be hated. That's gonna happen with visual novel games, and so Shuji is one of them. Really hated his guts, but I'm pretty sure by the time I get to his part, like, you know, his death being prevented and stuff like that, I'm pretty sure he'll like unfold to something else, and maybe I'll like him a little better. But other than that, Jesus fucking Christ! Every time he said "Shut up, useless," I'm just like, oh my God, I just want to punch you in the face.
I mean, when we first saw his backstory about, you know, like his father, you know, doing all this shit, I'm like, seriously, really? We're going through this trope. Daddy wasn't there for you,
or you want to disappoint Daddy? That's the whole like that's the old issue. Because I guess
I'm like,
yeah. You don't disappoint his brother.
Like reasoning, like if I do this, then Dad's gonna notice me. It's like, how the fuck is he gonna notice you? He's like 3,000 many miles away.
It's not gonna but
and if you live and tell him and say, hey Dad, I saved this bunch of kids and stuff, he's not gonna fucking believe you.
Yeah, it's
because
more
the
for
way
him,
you're making your dad's. Yeah, it's like that pat on the back. Like,
it's more for himself really than his dad. I feel like his dad is kind of like he's being used as an excuse for himself. Like because
an ass.
Yeah, and so he wants to impress himself to make him feel like he's impressing his dad. Is what I'm interpreting it as. So I don't know. I mean, either way, he's a fucking piece of shit. I want to punch him in the face for, but. We'll see, I guess, once the his death is prevented or whatever, and actually see Lobot evolve to, you know, the right form or whatever. So, but I took a look at one person's other death just to kind of like out of curiosity, because I don't think I'm gonna go for like a wrathful path, or I'm gonna have the time for it, but we'll see. So I took a look at one path, and unfortunately, that is how you do get the other forms, or like let's say like Labramon, for example. Like you have to pick the Wrathful Path or whatever, and then you get this mega form for Labramon, but it's stupid because you technically don't have that Labramon or that form for Labramon anymore, because by that time they're not with you anymore. So it's kind of stupid in that sense too, because it's like, oh yeah, I want this form, but I don't really get to use it or whatever. So it is kind of stupid, but I get it, I guess, because like it's the same thing with Shuji, right? Because Lautmon evolves into a Wendigomon, right? So it unlocks the Wendigomon thing right there on Lautmon's thing, but you don't get to use it. So it's kind of like just like, oh, okay, you know. I guess it's just for the sake of like completing it, completing the what do you call the chart. But I don't know. I just felt like that it is kind of dumb in that sense because you don't get to use it. So it's like you made this choice. You went to the trouble of letting these characters die, and you can't even use that Digimon. So I don't know. It's just something to point out, I guess. So I mean, and so I watched. So obviously, I watched Always Death. And I'm like, oh god, this is brutal, man. So yeah, it's I haven't seen anyone else's death. Just Always. I just did it out of curiosity and just and yeah, it's fucking brutal, man. It's pretty brutal. Characters die in this shit, and I always commend Digimon for always like going for the mature themes, like I said before, over Pokemon. So it always kind of like it always gets overshadowed by Pokemon, unfortunately, because of where it's at. And Digimon has not found like that foundation for like what game is supposed to be, besides the Digimon Adventure games. And they haven't like gone back to that since in a more modern setting, right? I think the last good one, quote unquote, is like Cyber Sleuth. So that's like a very linear like JRPG, turn-based, and all that stuff, because it's very focused on the story rather than going out in an open world sort of setting and then you just kind of do whatever you want essentially. So I feel like they need to make it like a sandbox Digimon game at one point to like, you know, bring back the fans and kind of get up there, and of course do it right, of course, but like I think they need to go back to those sort of roots. And yeah, but it's not to say that Digimon Survival is like a terrible game by any means. It's just it definitely has its problems, one way or the other, even if you do focus on its visual novel aspects. But you know, it is what it is, I guess. And so at least the story itself is enjoyable. Like I found, you know, entertainment out of it, and of course I do want to check out the true ending eventually. But I just don't like how it was delivered, how it was executed. I don't like the whole moral thing. I don't like the whole like colors thing. It makes it too obvious, and it makes you not care about what happens when you pick either of those choices. Funny, at first I picked all harmony because I felt like that was me, right, in most of these situations. And and then once I found out about the Digimon thing, I'm like, well, fuck, I'm just gonna go for the moral path. I don't care about what happens next because I want War Greymon instead of whatever's in the data path. And it's also, it kind of like spits on it further spits in the face that they're pretty much like emphasizing on moral, because that's the least amount of people dying. Of course, with Wrath being the most, but of course, Harmony surprisingly has a lot of people dying too, in a way. So it's like, what the okay. I mean, they're really, so it's like you're really kind of obligated to go to the moral path because you know you kind of want War Greymon. I mean, I don't know how good the data one is. I forget what it was. Isn't the virus the virus one is essentially Machine Dramon, right? So yeah, I know that's what I wanted, but it's like I can just get
this man here.
I
trying
want
to get his baby boy.
but I can just get I just get other Digimon to evolve to Machinedramon, so it's like it doesn't matter. So
Yeah.
it's like, yeah. I don't know how. I mean, I'm pretty sure Agumon will be with me no matter what. You know, he's like your best friend. You know, he'll stick with you no matter what. But still, I'd rather just at that point, I'd rather just stick to the moral path and just have someone else evolve to Machinedramon, which I did. You know, I had an Andromon, and that one evolved to Machinedramon, and then I like Machinedramon gameplay wise, but guess what? Fucking what's his face? Gilmon or Gallantmon is pretty much a better version of him almost. Except that the only thing Machinedramon has on him is what do you call it, the verticality and the horizontal range or whatever. I forget what it was called. It was like you can like because he shoots in a like a lob or whatever, he can actually shoot people above or whatever, like or whatever it is. Because Gallantmon can only shoot straight. So you can't shoot up or whatever, but he does have like the same amount of range. But not only that, his stats are just infinitely better, and he has a better passive, I think, and I think that's what it was. But Gallantmon is just better all around, unfortunately. So they don't have like they just have characters that just are blatantly worse than some others. So I feel like the balancing is kind of bad. But you know, Machinedramon is still not bad. It's just there's someone clearly better than him, unfortunately. And it was funny, Gilmon is, I don't think you can't earn him in the game. You can only earn him through the pre-ordering, I think, or the digital version.
It was like digital version, and then somehow I think they're trying to make him like able to get him, like somehow.
Mm-hmm.
But it's been like a while because again, it's like you and I have him already, so it's like, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We're just waving it at everyone. Sucks to be you.
Right. We both like. No, I just bought the digital version. That's pretty much it. I didn't pre-order it because it wasn't there until it was released. So I got them like right at hour 0 because I was constantly checking at the the PlayStation store. So I was just like constantly checking. But yeah, and lo and behold, I found it. And yeah, that's how I was able to get Gilmon. But I don't know. Overall, Digimon Survive, I think if we're gonna like wrap this up, I think that for me it deserves I'd say a 6 out of 10 just because like it's just above average. Like 5 is in the middle for me. It's just above average because I like the art style for it. I think it's neat. I like the sprites on some of the Digimon, but I do like the sprites on the what do you call it, the human characters, and I like how like the lighting and stuff like that. It kind of interacts with the character sprites. It's again pretty neat. I enjoy the overall story itself, but I didn't enjoy how the visual novel gameplay was structured overall. It's just kind of just like whatever, you know. The only reason you're increasing your affinity with people is just so their Digimon can evolve. It's not so much that they can survive. It's so the tension is not there. It feels so linear. Like if you somehow can turn off your brain, or not turn off your brain, but like ignore everything around you and
lower your expectations, or you're just saying like your mindset, just make your mindset just
like very like tunnel. If you put on a tunnel, like if you purposely put on tunnel vision, which I don't know how you could do that, because literally the tips page like tells you like oh, this will happen and stuff like that. Then I guess, you know, if you don't realize that the colors, you know, there's something to it, right? It's just like, oh, I'll just pick red this entire time without knowing what it actually does. You know, again, the game tells you. Like, then okay, I guess it can come off with a surprise, but it's like once you kind of figure it out, it's like, oh well, well shit. It just feels like pretty linear. You know, only these set of people die no matter what you do. It's just Do you want to go for a moral path? You want to go for a wrathful path? You want to go for a harmony path? That's essentially how it goes. It's not like, oh, if I don't talk to Minoru, Saki, and Kaito enough, those bottom 3 are gonna die because they were the bottom 3 affinity or anything like that. I think that would have been a little better, but they would have to reprogram how the scenes will play out and stuff like that. And I think it could have been harder, maybe potentially. But I'm not a game developer, so I can't say that beyond that. But I feel like they should have gone for a different system, than just, oh, I'll pick this color more. Therefore, these 2 people die. Only these 2 people die, no matter what I do.
Yep.
This is it just feels very linear in that sense. Especially once you figure that shit out, which isn't that hard. So, I don't know. I mean, do you have anything different about that, or do you agree for that? Do you agree on that?
I mean, well, let's get my score out of the way first. So
Right? Yeah. Sure.
okay. It's a low 7.
Mm-hmm.
Like this, but I'm kind of blaming also on the marketing department for
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Bandai. This game did not have any love. It was just like, it was just this.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, ta-da!
Not to mention, it was like it had radio silence for like a long time too. Like
Yep.
no one was. They weren't talking about it. Like they weren't telling like, oh, we've been, progress has been chugging along, whatever, nicely or whatever. But it's just like dead silence, and then it was like, and then you have the mismarketing, and then you just kind of have like bits and hints of like, oh, the visual novel side of it, quote unquote. But people thought it was just gonna be, like dialogue for it, just plain old dialogue, because again, it doesn't. I mean, they did say, oh yeah, your choice is gonna matter, but it didn't have like a direct like, oh, these are visual novel. There will be visual novel elements, and then blended with the tactical RPG. So this is gonna be this kind of game or something like that. Instead, they just showed off the very first trailer, showed off more of the tactical RPG. So people thought, oh, it's gonna be a tactical RPG game. That's cool,
Mm-hmm.
So their expectations were very much misled because of that. So you kind of get to see why people were review bombing it more ways than one, and that's kind of why.
Mm-hmm.
And it sucks too because the game doesn't particularly specializes on either sides, in my opinion. I think the tactical RPG is very like plain. Like there's no real like deep strategy to it other than, oh, just if you attack from behind or if you attack from the sides, you get more extra damage. And then I guess the terrain too plays some part of it. Other than that, you just take your strongest Digimon and just beat the shit out of them. That's just essentially what you do.
Yeah.
Especially with War Greymon, he's so OP. With the Terra Force. That's pretty much it.
Yep.
There you go.
Daddy.
You brought out the figure. That is a nice looking figure, though. I'll give it that.
I mean, compared to my body, it's fucking huge.
Yeah, they made the feet very big on purpose so he doesn't fall over. But like, War Greymon, man.
And that.
Yeah, of course. War Greymon is very powerful, so it really incentivizes you all the more to go for the moral path. Because one, that's the least amount of people dying. Two, you get War Greymon, so it's like it just dials down too much on one side. It just feels one-sided to me. At that.
Yeah, like, I mean, yes, the dialogue choices, it's there, but if you're like a hardcore, like, avid Digimon fan, and you you're tunnel visioning to Wargreymon, you're gonna do everything in your damn power to just get him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're not gonna really care about the choices that happen around you. It's just like, oh, I got Wargreymon, you know, and oh, people die. Oh well, you know, that sort of thing. Like, and of course, there's no way to prevent deaths or anything like that in the first playthrough anyway. So again, it just has this very like linear sort of gameplay to it. So
I mean, it's like when you found out like, oh, nothing really matters in the first playthrough until you get Wargreymon. It's that whole Top Gear meme when someone dies. Oh no.
So anyway, yeah. Anyways, Wargreymon.
We're continuing on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's like, oh no, you're dead. Well, it was a necessary evil. Bye.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like it's what sucks too is that now that comparing Wargreymon to Machine Dramon, of course I'm gonna go for Wargreymon because he's just infinitely better. Like his special attack like just blows up everything. It's got a really good range, area effect, and his movement is pretty good. His attack is insane. Like everything about Wargreymon is really good. Like I'm not even gonna bother with the data side of it. I don't know what it is. I'm not gonna bother with it because Wargreymon is just too good.
Like, if they really wanted this game to also like bring in people, they should have brought also like other Digimon from other seasons. I mean, yes, they brought Guilmon
for sure,
but I was half expecting like to see Vmon so we can get Magnamon.
But yeah, the roster too. That's another thing.
Yeah, the roster was very like
I would say it's okay.
Very Digimon Adventure 1. Like it was just like stayed there, and then it was just sprinkled with like Lokmon and the other ones.
Yeah, very season 1 heavy. Yeah, because it has pretty much like all of the Digidestined Digimon, right? Because because there's Agumon, Gabumon, Palmon, Tentamon can join you at some point. Gomamon, Patamon, Gatomon, and then I'm forgetting one. Supposed to be 8. Is it, or is it 7?
Wait.
Is it 7?
Technically 8.
Right. Technically
7 original.
Right. 7 original. 8. Right.
And then the 8 is Kairi.
Yeah. I already said Gatomon. I think Palmon. I'm forgetting Palmon. So I'm just gonna assume Palmon.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
either way,
you can get Palmon. But...
Yeah. So they're all there. So it's like that itself is already like saying, oh, it's a very Adventure 1 heavy roster. And then there's a lot of Digimon that evolve to the same thing. It's another thing too. With Monzaimon, and then you have the Andromon, and then you have the Machine Dramon. There's like more ways than one to evolve to Machine Dramon. And then there's of course Giga Dramon, and then the other Giga Dramon, and then you have some of the dinosaurs. That's kind of cool, but of course you have Piedmon, you have Metal Sea Dramon, and you have Puppetmon. So of course you have the Dark Masters from season 1. So of course that's there. I'm surprised Lady Devimon's not there though, but they have Marine Devimon, or whatever his name is. Oh, and of course they have like all the season 1-esque mega evolutions, I guess, or 02 I should say too. But again, like you kind of said, like there's no Vmon, there's no Armadillomon, there's no Hawkmon, not even like Wormmon. You know, you have Kunimon or whatever, or Kunemon or whatever.
Yeah, you have Renamon and Cubimon,
right? Cubimon
and Taomon. Or Sakuya.
Sakuyamon, yeah. And then
I'm like
Lopmon, and then yeah.
But when I saw Renamon, I was like, oh great.
Right.
She's here. Good
Right.
job.
Right. Right.
You know your audience.
Yeah. Yeah. It's just I mean, so there's just a lot of misses, and then even like the enjoyable parts had its like filler, and it gets bogged down really badly and during the tunnel part too, because it's like you go through the same thing 3 fucking times, and then those 3 fucking times is pretty long too. I felt.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, there's a typos as like a cherry on top kind of thing, and then like there is a lot of misses in this game, but I did still enjoy it, but it's definitely a 6 out of 10 for me, just above above average, just because like I like the game, how the game looks and blah blah. But yeah, also I have to mention the level design could have been better too. Like there's just a lot of like the same old. I felt. Yeah.
Also, like, when we hit like chapter 8-ish, we go backwards. Like we revisit. There we go. We revisit like old places, and I'm like, why?
Yeah, because they don't want to. They don't want to design new levels or whatever. There's no like snow. We don't visit the snow levels. There's no like lava levels. Of course, we have the forest, great, but there's no like desert either. Which, that was like what that's what Digimon Adventure was all about, right? Like they went through all the different locations, including the desert, of course. And then there was like the machine city or whatever with Machine Dramon. That's pretty cool. And then, of course, you have like the dark level, but it's like plain. That's like kind of whatever. But the only pretty much the only enjoyable thing was pretty much the story itself. But everything else around it, even like the technical RPG, is just plain. It's just plain Jane. It's nothing too much to it. There's no real strategy at the end of it. Like it was cool with some of the attacks and all, but it could have been so much better. And the game itself is like what, $50. So luckily luckily
it was a full price game, right?
It's like either $50 or $60. So, but luckily for me, I had a lot of points on my my store card, so I just used that to get PlayStation credit, and then I used that credit to buy Digimon. So I actually saved half. I paid half the price by the end of it. So it was pretty nice. So I paid $30 for it, or $35 technically. So that's pretty nice. But yeah, anyway, I mean, yeah, barely above average, I would say, just because I like the characters. I like the story of it. Like I wouldn't mind if it was like a fully fledged Digimon visual novel game. I would have been down for it. It's just as long as the problem, of course, again, is just the system itself isn't well thought out. It wasn't fleshed out all the way. Very linear, and it's kind of just like pretty much one-noted. But again, I enjoy the story for what it was. What about you? What's your overall sort of consensus for yourself?
It's like those average, like if I could, like, what's the word? Compare this game to like a TV show. It's like it was going up, and then all of a sudden, once we hit like mid season, it just dropped. Until we got to like the last few chapters, then that was like, ooh.
Yeah, the payoff is definitely there. Yeah. Yeah.
Like I was happy when I got ZawarudoWrrryy, and then like in my head, I knew we were gonna get Garurumon to be with us, to be friends. I just didn't know that in this game they would actually DNA digivolve, and I was like, holy shit! Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And then that's the other thing with New Game Plus. If you want to use Omegamon, you gotta have Gabumon, but because you start back to the beginning, that little I'm like staring like
Yeah, and in the tutorial,
you're right there.
in the tutorial, I was like, oh, he can just evolve to more Greymon.
Yeah, but I kind of just wanted to go straight to.
Tutorial
I just wanted to go straight into Omegamon, but I was like, wait,
Yeah,
I'm missing, I'm missing another piece to this puzzle. Cannot work.
yeah. But you have all your Digimon, right? Except for, I mean, you have all the Digimon you captured, right, or whatever. Because
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Like, I mean, again, I'm using War Greymon to just fucking just breeze through everything.
Yeah.
I mean, hell, even if I put it on, because
Hard?
you know, before you go to a fight, you can change the difficulty.
Yeah.
It's on hard, and still War Greymon's just going.
Boosh, yeah. Terraforce, boom. Terraforce, boom. Yeah.
And I'm like, and the whole round is like done in like almost in 3 rounds. I'm like, you didn't even give these guys a chance.
I know. Yeah.
But,
Yeah. Again, it just feels very linear, very one-sided for a game that's supposed to have like choices and dialogue that matter, quote unquote, and it just kind of feels like the Fallout 4 thing where you choose a lot of dialogue where you thought it mattered, but it doesn't really do much by the end of it. It just only some does matter, of course, right? And then it's just it just depends on what the path you want to take, and you know, blah 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 blah. We know what. So yeah, and then the new game plus, of course, pretty simple. As long as you save one person, you're just locked into that path no matter what. So it's like, again, it just becomes very linear. Now, I do want to check out the extra scenes and stuff like that, definitely over time. But again, it just, I don't know. It doesn't do one or the other well, even. So, like, you would think the visual novel side even be well enough, but even that's like, you know, not done well enough. And it sucks that the tactical RPG is not, you know, well thought out either. So, they have like all this like stuff like, oh, you can increase the battle speed like 3 times, and then you have the auto battle, and then blah blah blah. Like it's almost like they wanted you to skip through the battles just so you can get to the story, because that's where it matters, really. The tactical RPG stuff kind of, I should have said this, kind of felt like an afterthought almost. But I think the visual novel stuff came in later during development. That's just my theory anyway. But I don't know. It went through development hell, like it, at least to some sort or to some extent, which is why the game got delayed like several times. So who knows what, you know, went on behind the scenes. I felt like maybe there might have been some conflict, which is why the visual novel side isn't well thought out enough, and in the tactical RPG side also not well thought out enough. Kind of just very basic at that point. All right, well, if you don't have any more thoughts, and I think we're done. We done with Digimon Survive for right now. Maybe we'll come back to it, like kind of add a little more on the true game ending or whatever. But we'll see. I don't know if we'll have time to talk about that, or put the time into talking about that. But anyway, that's that. So yeah, let's get back into the rest of the news, which is just kind of like small news here and there. So, this one, funny enough, is probably the biggest one of the bunch for the rest of them, because it is Fortnite and Dragon Ball. It finally happened with Goku and some of the gang making it in there. Oh, oops. I'm just gonna mute it just in case. But oh, just low volume. Let me see. So you have Bulma, you have Vegeta, Beerus, and Goku. So it finally happened. So there's actually a mode, like a dedicated mode, which is of course limited, unfortunately, where you can actually use Goku's powers. So you can have like the flying Nimbus. I think that's a vehicle, right? And no matter what where you're at, but Goku, you can use his Kamehameha as an actual like attack, like it actually destroys people and stuff like that in that mode. So actually kind of cool in that sense. So I'll give him credit for that. I'm gonna say though, like Goku kind of looks goofy. Like a lot, his sprites don't look right. If I'm gonna be honest.
I mean, they kind of had to like dumb it down when you think about it, because then if it's like actual likeness, then that's I guess more royalties they gotta pay to Toei.
Or just time, I guess. I don't think that's an issue because they already put in the money to that, so
yeah.
They have the
But
rights.
Oh dear, they brought Beerus into this game.
Yeah, surprisingly.
All the what are those animators called that likes to use models for special videos?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So Beerus is like, oh dear.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. It's like the mod community almost, right? So
yeah, now they're gonna have more fuel for their
they have the 3D models.
Yep. Now they're gonna make a lot of videos, just like Overwatch.
Yeah, because it's using the Unreal Engine, so of course they're gonna be able to pull that shit off. It's funny, you can actually watch the anime on in the in-game world almost. I think you can watch an episode, which is pretty funny. But yeah, they have this little adventure island thing for a limited time, I think. And then you have the flying Nimbus. You have the Kamehameha emote, which right now it's as an effect. But oh yeah, you also have a Shenron and the flying capsule, not the flying capsule, the Saiyan little personal ship thing. I forget what it was called.
I kind of wish it wasn't Bulma.
I
kind of wish it was Launch.
Yeah, that makes way more sense. It makes way more sense. I mean, but Bulma is way more popular, and unfortunately, Launch is kind of like super side character. Like Toriyama probably forgot about her. I think he's like kind of.
It was like to me, it's either you use Launch or what's her name? Mai.
Yeah, I get it. Yeah.
Use one of them.
Anyone from the Red Ribbon Army. Yeah. Pretty much. Violet would have been kind of cool too. Like I think she was like sergeant. I forget her rank, but she's like she kind of went rogue within the Red Ribbon Army, and she tried to steal the Dragon Balls for herself for her selfish needs or whatever. But she got blasted or something. I don't know. Some shit happened to her. Anyway,
she dead.
I'm pretty much she's dead at this point. But anyway, yeah. So these four in there. I have a feeling there's gonna be another set. So because they did that with Naruto, so they're probably gonna have another set at some point. Because they put in a lot of money, so they're probably gonna use that license to use. So they're gonna probably have 4 more characters in there.
They're probably like if they make a Dragon Ball Super Season 2, guarantee Frieza is gonna be in there.
Oh yeah, it has to be Frieza. It has to be Gohan, and then maybe Jiren. Maybe Jiren can fit in there, and then who's in, and then some random 4th character. I don't know. Could be anyone. Maybe 18. Maybe 18. Yeah, maybe 18 could be in there.
Probably 18.
Yeah.
Or 17.
Or 17. Yeah. Or have them swappable because they're like the same like person almost. Because they're twins. But
Well, it'd be so funny if they second season they bring in Frieza, and so like the mode they have right now with Goku, he swaps to Frieza, so you just have death beams coming at you.
Oh no, Piccolo! I'm stupid. Piccolo has to be in there. Piccolo has to be in there, dude.
The better dad, yes. I'm still writing on that chat. Piccolo is the better father than Goku.
I think a lot of people do. So yeah, so I can see Frieza, Gohan, Piccolo, and then what did I say? A female character. There you go. Let's just put it that way. 18. I don't think. Do people like Jiren? I don't know.
If they're gonna go with a female character, frick, why not bring Android 21?
You're right. Right.
Just throw her in there and see everyone go.
Yeah.
So
Waifu.
is it gonna be in her Majin form or in her lab coat?
Oh, yeah, right. I feel like that has to be swappable or like a costume or skin, whatever. Are there skins for Naruto stuff? I don't know. I forget.
I don't know. I don't
Yeah.
play this.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, me either. But
We are men of class. We play a shittier game called Apex.
yes, the less popular battle royale game. I mean, it's still popular in its own right, but
Well, Apex is okay. It's just that Respawn's being Respawn. They don't know what the hell they're doing right now with this
they're
season.
being they're being. Yeah, I was gonna say that R word, but yeah, you know. But anyway. But I'm not gonna go.
People are not fighting on the first ring, so we're gonna make it super fast. It's like, why?
It's very
And
annoying.
then again, when they looked into their Reddit forums, why are people mad at us?
Mm-hmm.
You did that shit.
Yeah, and then there's word that they're gonna go back on it too, or you're gonna.
I know. It's like, oh, I guess people are mad. I guess we did a boo boo.
Yeah. Yep. So anyway, Fortnite finally has Dragon Ball. It finally happened. I mean, at this point, it's like who isn't in here? Who isn't going to make it in there? That's the big question. You know. From this point on, like anyone can be in here, right? Everyone is gonna be in here at some point. At some point, One Piece is gonna be in there.
Who's not in this game yet? Yeah, I was gonna say One Piece.
Mm-hmm. They're gonna be in there. Because I thought Toei was like very hard ass about it. Like,
yeah, I thought. Yeah, that's the same thing too. Like I was like, wait, Toei is like, yeah, here.
Yeah, Shueisha / like Toei.
I mean, I guess Fortnite had the money and they just dropped like a blank check, and Toei just went like, okay,
yeah,
okay, any,
but
yeah.
I think, but that's also more apparent that because they're only using Japanese voices. There's no Sean Schimmel. You don't hear Chris Sabat, which I mean, not that I care anyway, but they're only using Japanese voices, so they definitely had to play. They had to play the cards right, and then Toei had were given a lot of money for sure. I think.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. And I think that was part of the deal.
If they want to impress me, like Fortnite wants to impress me.
JoJo.
No.
Really? Oh wow. Okay.
Bring in Kamen Rider and Super Sentai. That's how you really want to impress my ass.
There you go. Yeah.
Not Power Rangers. Super Sentai and Kamen Rider. You bring that into Fortnite, and I'll be like, oh, what money did you throw at that to get these?
Mm-hmm.
Because again, with stuff saying that, oh, we want Super Sentai and Kamen Rider to be available to the West. Okay, so you're gonna give us this, right? No. Like, then how are we going to watch? I don't know. That's your problem. But we want to have everyone to enjoy this.
Isn't some of that on Amazon right now? I think I've seen some Kamen Rider stuff on Amazon Prime Video.
Yeah, it's only one right now.
It's only one,
just
yeah.
Amazon's, because it's that Kamen Rider show is really not part of the Kamen Rider universe per se. It's like that black sheep of the family.
Oh, so it's like GT. It's like Dragon Ball GT.
Yeah.
Okay, I see.
Yeah,
I see.
And it's also because it's very mature. Like there's blood, gore, and some innuendos. So that's why it's that black sheep. It's like Kamen Rider is like, oh, like teaching people lessons, all that stuff. Amazon is like, I hate you. Rips the guy's head off right there. It's like, oh.
Wow.
It's I like you. Sit next to the person. It's like, hi.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Kamen Rider, man. That would be pretty impressive. Yeah.
Because again, it is owned by Toei, so it's like
right. Or is it? Wait,
come on.
Is it not Toho? Or it's Toei? I thought it was Toho.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
No, Toho is
Yeah, Godzilla.
Lizard
Right?
Daddy.
Right,
Yeah.
but I thought. Okay, never mind. Well, whatever. Well,
Again, like Fortnite, you want to impress me? Throw that money.
right.
Throw that money at Toei to get Kamen Rider
Hmm.
and Super Sentai. I would laugh my ass off if you did.
I would be even more impressed if they throw in. I know Spider-Man's already in it, but if they somehow go back on Spider-Man, but they throw in a Japanese Spider-Man. I want to see that. I want to see that because he uses a gun. Like, there's a clip of him using a fucking submachine gun. It's like, what the fuck?
For another company, if Fortnite wants to like impress me, Tatsunoko.
Damn, man. Damn.
I mean, they could use Gatchaman
Mm-hmm.
because one of their characters does use a gun.
Yes, yes. You're talking about Joe Condor, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. I remember.
They
I
could
remember
also
using him.
use well,
Tekam,
Kashan.
yeah, Kashan, Tekaman, yeah. And then there's what's his face? The guy with the hat.
Yes.
He had eye mask or whatever. Yeah.
Oh,
Yataman, yeah.
Yataman.
Yataman, yeah.
Yataman. Then you have Karas.
Yep.
So it's like again, for Fortnite, we're giving you ideas. If you have the money, throw it there.
Yeah.
That's how you're gonna impress me. Is that gonna make me play the game? Hell no. It's just gonna be like, wow, you did have the money. You.
Right. Well, obviously the other impressive one, I guess you can say, is Square Enix with Cloud and shit, or Final Fantasy. I feel like that's gonna happen.
They probably had that on lock already.
Yeah, they probably have that on lock. If Goku is in here, anyone can be in here at this point, because Toei is a fucking hard ass when it comes to this sort of stuff. But if they can do that here, I mean, you know.
I don't think a Nintendo character is also in.
Oh,
Fortnite,
you're right.
so
Yeah, that's like
if they really.
That's the final boss, essentially. That's the final.
I mean,
boss.
you like for the US side, I think Doug Bowser would be like, yeah,
of course, but you gotta.
But here in Japan, would be like,
yeah, you gotta put out a lot of money for them.
It's like how does 1 billion to just use Mario? No. 2 billion to use Luigi, just Luigi. No.
Yeah.
10 million to just use Kirby, and they all look at Sakurai. And Sakurai's just playing like some random game.
No, he's playing with his cat.
He's just like, I don't
know.
I don't even know what Fortnite is.
Yeah. But anyway, Dragon Ball made it in here finally, and it's pretty much another big old hurdle, I guess. I mean, there's a lot of characters in here at this point, and Dragon Ball is now just another one, and then now pretty much One Piece.
There's a lot of IP in this game.
There's a lot of IPs in this game, and also like, yeah, One Piece is gonna be next for sure. Like if Dragon Ball's in there, One Piece is gonna be in there too. One Piece. Maybe at some point, what's that? Kimetsu no Yaiba or Demon Slayer is gonna be in there for sure. What's another? Oh, My Hero Academia. Of course, that's gonna happen. Or maybe I don't know. Maybe it was so expensive that they can only get Dragon Ball, because that's like, of course, that's like the really popular one. So I don't know. We'll see. By the way, Fortnite has a lot of characters. All right, so this one, I forget particularly exactly what this one was. Oh yes, I wanted to point this out real quick here. So Pokemon Company, this is from a tweet from the official Twitter account, unveiled a 5-year plan to support organizations that improve the lives of children around the world and social equity. This $25 million initiative will serve as the core of our corporate social responsibility efforts. So basically, they're gonna, I'm pretty sure they're gonna, give money to like the St. Jude's Hospital for Children or whatever at some point. So, hey, I mean, good on them for even giving this a thought. So, I mean, sounds pretty cool. You got a comment for this one?
I like it.
Yeah,
But
pretty.
the only thing I don't like right now with the Pokemon Company is the McDonald's.
Oh, right.
I tried to get one today.
Oh,
You know what they fucking gave me? Fucking Thor.
fucking what?
Thor. They gave me the Thor toys instead of the Pokemon cards.
Are you kidding? That's
I drove back around and go, where's the Pokemon cards? Oh, we're sold out. And why do you have it still advertised?
oh my god.
We were supposed to put that out this morning. It is 11, my dear.
Mm-hmm.
What is morning to you?
Yeah.
1 o'clock?
Yeah, that's pretty funny. This one, I just wanted to give an update on One Piece live action stuff. Excuse me. The live action stuff from Netflix. And basically, this is just an update with a couple of characters being added in there. So we have Bianca Oshzen. It's a very, very uncommon name for me, so I'm butchering that, so I apologize. It's playing as a Sham from the Black Cat pirate crew. That's Kuro's pirate crew. Another one is they casted for young Nami, which is Eva McDolling, and I guess it says as a note, it says potentially stunt actor. That's kind of interesting. Another new one is, well, for me anyways, Kamadine Gary, who's playing Rika. She's the girl that makes the rice balls for Zoro from the very first saga with Captain Morgan, funny enough. And then another one, Colton Osorio is playing young Luffy. One of the other recent announcements or bits of news. But other than that, yeah, I mean, some more. And then another new one is, I think that's Usopp's mom. Yeah, that's what it was. Usopp's mom is being played by Dante Ranger. Again, butchering the name, so I apologize. So yeah, that's pretty much it though for the major quote unquote sort of updates. I don't know if you have any comment on particular things for this one.
I mean, the cast looks good.
Hmm.
I mean, you can't really ask for a lot, but it looks good.
Yeah.
Some do look like you just gotta imagine the makeup on them and stuff that they'll hopefully look the part. Like Mr. Jeff Ward as Buggy is okay, I can kind of see it.
Uh-huh.
But are you gonna hit those high note screams?
Yeah. Let's see. Yeah, we'll see.
And then you have Stephen Ward as Mihawk. It's I can see it.
Kind of see it, sort of.
Yeah. Craig Farbras.
Fairbrass?
Yeah, you look like him already.
No, that's I was gonna say. He's honestly the most perfect casting out of everyone here. Anyone.
Yeah.
Really.
Well, and also Mr. Vincent Rodriguez.
Yeah, Vincent Regan as Garp. Yeah, I was gonna say that too. Is another pretty good casting. Pretty close, I would say. But
yeah.
I think Fairbrass is definitely the closest thing to his character, which is Zeph, of course. So he's gonna have the mustache, and then the hat, and a little bit of the beard, of course, the hair, of course. Yeah. So hopefully, I I mean, yeah, I mean, even the face, like, just like the nose and the eyes and everything. Like, I think it actually like pretty close in the face, like the face structure and everything. I think they if it, and he's a great actor too. I mean, I know he's for sure a great actor, so I'm pretty confident in that part. But it's just Zeph, so it's, you know, he's a side character. I mean, we're you know, sadly we have to, you know, have to see more of the Straw Hat crew rather than, you know, Zeph, because Zeph. I mean,
And then you have Mr. Peter Gadil. I'm gonna say like the T in his last name is silent. As Shanks, it's like,
oh yeah.
it's like I can see it, but you gotta bulk up, just a tad.
Well, that's probably, yeah. I don't know. Just a tad. We'll see. We'll see.
Mr. Morgan Davis as young Kobe.
Oh, Kobe.
It's like,
Yeah.
it's like, okay, like I can see it. So if this show does well and we get all the way up to like seeing Kobe like
Yeah, the time
hot,
skip.
it's
Yeah.
like who are
the
who are you
glow
gonna
up.
choose? Because
Mhm.
so it's like
Yeah.
you know that old meme. Don't make fun of me back in high school
or middle school.
something.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like,
Yeah.
damn.
Mm-hmm.
So that's Kobe. Is like, yes, that is him. It's
My
like, how?
yeah. My real concern though is Arlong's actor, which is McKinley Belcher. Like I'm
Well, if he's gonna be in makeup and prosthetics, I think that'll be okay. But if they're just like gonna be humanized, like really
yeah.
humanized, then it's like, that'll be a no for me.
Right, because
We'll be Simon Cowell at this point, going like, that's a no.
I mean, like, and if they're gonna take that route, that's not gonna work too, because Arlong's nose is actually a part of his motif or whatever, his character, because his nickname is Saw Nose Arlong, like, and he uses his nose as a means to attack people and stuff like that too. Yep. So that's already not gonna work if they're gonna really take that route. So, I mean, he has to have the nose. So, yeah, I don't know.
Again, this series has been quiet. Like we've
only seen castings. Yeah, only seen castings. No trailer. I mean, we've seen the sets, right?
Yeah, we saw the set trailer, but not like a trailer.
Mm-hmm, yeah, of course. We've only heard announcements or seen announcements, not so much any video at all, other than the behind the scenes stuff, and some like small promotions here and there, like yeah, with the main actor, of course, like saying some stuff. But other than that, yeah, that's it. There's no actual official trailer just yet. So who knows of what this live action series looks like for One Piece. I mean, I don't know. I can't expect too much, but it is going to be interesting to review, no less.
Like at this point with this show, it's like, don't make your expectation like super high. Just put it like at that medium like expectation, so it doesn't like shoot to the ground like again another live action series.
Bebop.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, can't really put too much expectations, man, on these things. I mean, if it succeeds, great. I mean, I'm not gonna, you know, I'm gonna be fair about it. So if it sucks, it sucks. But if it's good, then it's good. Well, we have to get there in order to see. All right, well, that's it for the casting for right now. That's like the latest news, quote unquote, on One Piece. Oh, I'm sorry. There was one more casting that's missing, actually. It was like, this one was very recent. Remember this guy, Genzo? From the Arlong Park? So, this guy is being played by Grant Ross. So, I another actor that I don't know, but what's up, man?
Oh, hi. I mean, it's like, my memory is so bad from that early of the season, but
Mm-hmm.
I was like, who's this? Until you told me where he's from, I was like, oh, him.
Yeah, because
Why?
he's kind of like almost like a second father to Nami and Nojiko, like a mentor almost.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
again, it's like, to me, it's like why?
Mm-hmm.
We have too many people already. Too many cooks.
Yeah. I think he's just a police officer. I don't think he's like a marine or anything like that, or even a former marine. I think he's just a straight up police officer. That's what I'm gathering anyway. Had they wait a minute? Had they talked about? They didn't talk about Bellamere, right? I don't think they've mentioned Bellamere. I don't think so, because they only have Nojiko from the Arlong Park stuff. Yeah, there's no Bellamere just yet. But yeah, they're definitely gonna announce that at some point. So she's definitely an important character for sure. I think that's pretty much it on the casting now. All right. Just announcement of an announcement. What was just mentioned this anyway from the Valiant. So a Disney and Marvel Games showcase has been announced for September 9th. So early September we'll have upcoming Star Wars, or not Star Wars, sorry. Well, there is going to be Star Wars games because yes, it's Disney. But Marvel games, yes. We're going to talk about Midnight Suns. Let's see. Fans can expect new reveals from titles including Disney, Dreamlight Valley, Marvel's Midnight Suns, Lego Star Wars, the Skywalker Saga, and a sneak peek of the upcoming ensemble game from Skydance New Media. That is pretty much the TLDR, I guess, for this little bit here. Any quick comment on this one?
My comment sounding like a farce. Like the back of my head is like Marvel 4? No? Okay, I'll sit back into the shadow, like like you're just in the shadow and your eyes are the only thing that everyone sees, and you're like, Marvel 4? No? Okay.
Yeah. Right. You're not interested? Are you? Wait, hold on. Sorry. Are you interested at all for Midnight Suns or not really?
Not really at the moment. I mean, I know it's like a card-based game. Like,
yeah.
What's that other game that does it? XCOM?
No. Well, it's a similar thing, but they don't use cards. It's a real-time strategy game.
But anyways, like it's like I wanna be interested, but it's not grabbing me yet.
Right. I feel like this is gonna be like a very live servicey kind of game too with the card system. So I was like, oh boy, they're gonna make you pull for cards. Gee, I wonder where this is going. Even though, a lot of European places are trying to set up the regulations for loot box type of gameplay. But that's all there is to it. So this one is kind of funny. I wanted to bring this up. So apparently, Capcom is selling a Rajang pillow, Rajang from Monster Hunter, and this is $250. And there's like the actual like photos of the front page or whatever, or like the. It's so hilarious looking. Have you seen this?
Will I buy it? No.
Yeah, of course, but it's just fucking hilarious. It's a Rajang pillow that costs $250. I don't know what to make of it. Like, how does it work? Like, is it like?
I think it's just like a regular body pillow, but just in the way that you're just supposed to just feel
right,
like, you know,
but being $250, you think there'd be more to it than that, though. I mean, is the hand like actually like, is it like a 3D, almost like a 3D-ish?
oh, like you can lift off the hand, and then
or
you
like
slip
at least
under it?
feel that, like, is there a dimension to that? Like, I don't know.
No.
Is the face like is his muzzle like, or his face actually like pointy or whatever? Because that's how it is.
Let's,
Or is it like
let's
flat?
have someone buy it.
Yeah, I know. We gotta wait for someone to buy it, and then someone take pictures of it, like from the angles and stuff like that.
Like sleeping with it.
Actually sleeping with. That's a kind
I
of.
don't know why he has that face. He's like, why am I?
I know, he's just contemplating like, why did I spend $250 on this? or 20, or how much is it? Is it like 26,000 yen or some shit?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's 26,400 yen.
Well, he also has the face like, now everyone's gonna think I'm a furry.
Yeah, I know. Yep. Isn't Rajang technically a wyvern? Are they all wyverns? Kind of, or most
Beast
of them.
wyverns and stuff like that.
Yeah, beast wyverns. Yeah. And then of course you have the elder dragons and then other fucking dragons or whatever. That's a kind of a cute one. Anyway, yeah, that's all there is to it. It's just a Rajang pillow. I don't know really what to make of it other than it's $250 and it's a Rajang pillow.
Like, I'm
sorry.
I'd rather buy like 2 of the Gengar.
Oh, the tongue one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd rather buy 2 of those.
Yeah, it's
Give
actually,
one to you,
kinda,
one to me.
Oh yeah. Because it actually has some sort of practical use, right? Because you can like you have your head covered in there, you know.
You sleep in there until your dog or your cat just comes right by your head, and you're like, seriously.
Yeah. I feel like my dog would.
They'll be like, ooh, a cave. Is like, no.
I feel like my dog would mess with it for sure, somehow, or some way or some form. Mess with it. But anyway, that's all I got. If you have any other like loose piece of news, She-Hulk is already out, so
yeah,
I have yet to watch it just yet. So I'll try to catch it as soon as I can. Yeah, I heard it's good. So, well,
yeah.
one person said it's good.
A lot of people, well, like, I don't know why people are like that. Like, you know, they took the trailer for She-Hulk like at face value, like, oh my god, the CG is fucking horrible, and it's like, you realize, if you don't, YouTube compresses the files very bad.
Yes.
Unless you're, you know, a YouTube partner or you have those big access thing to not make the damn site compress your shit, it's gonna. Your video quality is. It doesn't matter if it's a 1080p. It's gonna make it look like shit.
Yeah, same thing happens with video games.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, that gets ruined.
Yeah. But again, like, some people are saying, like, I took that thing as face value, saying that, oh, the CG is going to shit, and then speaking of like the animation and stuff, is people bringing the whole Disney.
Oh, the labor stuff, right?
Yeah, the labor stuff, and I'm like, can you really blame Disney for that if it's actually the animation studio not fucking hiring more people? Can you really blame Disney? And then, you know, again, people are just going to argue for the sake of arguing.
Right.
But I look at the She-Hulk stuff, like, because again, some people are just saying like, oh, this should be in a movie and stuff. It's like, yeah, but you're the same one that was complaining that you're tired of Marvel movies. So to me, this is like, you know, those side quests that you can just look at, or you can completely ignore. Because we don't know if I mean we do know, but we don't know like how much of all these shows are gonna have impact for like the movies and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
To me, I think She-Hulk is gonna be like one of the ones you have to watch because it shows like the loss, the everyday law side of the MCU. Like
Mm-hmm.
if a criminal fucking does all of this, does the justice system work in this, or is it just throw him in jail? The end. It's like no, I want to see like actual like interactions, and that's why again I've seen Daredevil in this show. Is like, ooh,
Mm-hmm.
is this how he's actually being reintroduced to the MCU through She-Hulk before his actual show, or is it gonna take some, or is this like a quote unquote future Daredevil timeline, and then when his actual show shows up, it's like a small backstory, like 1 or 2 episodes, and then it tries to sync up with She-Hulk. And then also there was that thing that the actress for She-Hulk said that she really wants Spider-Man to make a cameo in the show, and I'm like, did you get the okay from Sony?
Right.
Because again, Sony still has Spider-Man by his balls, literally.
Yeah.
They ain't letting go.
Yep.
And I'm so sorry to say it is to our chat and stuff. If you really want to see Spider-Man go back to the MCU, like be part of MCU property, like full on, Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse 2 will have to flop really hard. Like Sony cannot make any money from that. That's how bad.
That's the bad or harsh reality of it. Yep.
Because Disney can throw a lot of money at Sony, but Sony's just gonna be like,
yeah, don't they have to make a profit of like a big profit as
yep.
And then if they don't, then they're not fulfilling their end of the bargain, so therefore they have to give up the property in a way, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, that's why Sony right now for Spider-Man the property is 4 years. Yeah. If they don't make anything within that 4 years, then the licensing go out. But because Sony likes to wait till like close to the end of that freaking cycle,
delay it,
and then they produce like good shit. It's like the contract is renewed because they made that good shit at that last minute.
Right.
Or anything, or it could be like they can do anything with the Spider-Man property, but they have to have one movie dedicated to Spider-Man. So that's why you had like Venom, Morbius, and then a Spider-Man movie.
Right.
Because in Sony's mind, I'm guessing, Venom and Morbius were like the throwaway. To kind of like show like the lawyers of the shareholders and stuff, going like, hey, we're producing stuff for the Spider-Man, IP. Don't worry.
Right. Yeah.
Because again, they're just at this point hanging on to that little fucking hope of Spider-Man, doing well.
Yeah, making billions and whatever again, or whatever goal it may be. Because they're just all about making money. A lot of things are all about making money. That is the reality of it. Which, more or less, could be a detriment to the overall sort of the vibe of the product. And movies are definitely no exception of that. Put it that way. So, but yeah, anyway, so She-Hulk is out. I'm gonna try to catch it as soon as I can, and we'll probably talk about it, like first impressions kind of thing for next time. Whenever we get back to
sucked.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I don't know. We gotta watch this. But so far, I've heard one good thing, or heard a good thing from somebody who really likes on Twitter, who really likes She-Hulk. So I guess that's something. Seems promising.
He just wants to bang.
I mean, we saw that in the trailer, right? I mean, yep.
I don't know. I don't want to bank She-Hulk.
Somebody
I don't
does.
want to snoop. I don't want to snoop. I want to fucking walk the next day, sir.
Yeah. Yep. Alrighty. Let's leave it on that note. And that is our 200th episode of the Hypecast, man. Thanks very much for everyone who has stuck with us for this long. And yeah, so again, we will continue as we would. So maybe on the 50th or 250th episode, we'll probably like dedicate more time for like actually looking at some stuff, some old ass stuff here and there. But yeah, it's been a good run so far. So try to keep that going as much as we can. So, anyways, any continuing support would be much appreciated. Follow us on Twitter and stuff like that. All our stuff is in the description. You can follow us with iTunes and Spotify, and yeah, like I said, we'll be continuing this as much as we can. So with that, until then, we'll see you in the next one. So take care, stay safe, have a good one. See you in the next video or episode. Bye bye.